Hi, my name is Maureen Spencer, and I am the founder and the director of the Finding Inner Peace Energy Healing School, and I'm a Reiki Master Teacher. And I'm going to demonstrate the Reiki hand positions for giving somebody a Reiki session. So this is David, who is David Blackburn, my model, and I'm going to show you the front of the body, and then I'm going to have David turn over and I'll show you how to do the hand positions for the back of the body. So Reiki is the ray of light, that's what the word means, and it's the laying of the hands. We actually lay the hands on a person, and we're working actually with the chakra system, the 7 major chakras and the 21 minor chakras of the body. So the first hand position, well actually the first way to get you prepared for Reiki would be to center yourself. So you can rub your hands together and you can stand or you can sit, and you can close your eyes and go within, and you can say a prayer, an affirmation, and something that's going to turn on the flow, and you're going to receive and channel this universal life force from you to the other person. Reiki goes where it's needed. So I'm not forcing it, I'm not giving them my energy, I'm actually just opening myself up, called to the realms, to higher source, to allow this beautiful love and light to come through the body and to fill up areas that need to have that, to actually help somebody like David do some healing, self-healing. So the first hand position is at the top of the head in the crown chakra. So this is the 7th chakra, and this chakra is going to activate the pineal gland, which is the master gland of the endocrine system. And each hand position is held for a minute, which we're not going to do as we move along, just so I can demonstrate these positions for you. So the first would be with your hands together, and you can sit or you can stand. The next hand position is coming into the 6th chakra, which goes into the center of the head, front and back. So the first position, and the energy comes out of the palms, is going to be on the side of his head. And it's going to send energy right into the center of the brain, and that area is the hypothalamus and pituitary. And those are also connected with the endocrine system, producing hormones and neurotransmitters, and it's just going to quiet things down in the center of the client's brain. And then the hands are going to come in the top of the head, okay, coming over the eyes, quieting down the senses. Everything that he's seen to this point in life, we're going to put some love and light into that. And you hear my hands snap when I move energy. They don't snap over here, but you can hear the electricity around his body moving through my hands. Then the next position would be underneath the head, and you bring your both hands together and you let your hands just soften and receive the occipital ridge, the back of the brain. And I usually like to do a little bit of a massage and just pull those muscles that can get tight, and maybe pull the neck a little bit to kind of loosen it up. There's a gland in the back of the brainstem called the amygdala, and the amygdala holds all your past memory of traumatic memories and traumas and things that have happened to you. And so this is, to me, one of the best positions, is to receive somebody and to help run some energy into that particular gland and to release it. This is the brainstem, feeds the cardiac system and the respiratory system. And you just very slowly bring your hands out, and you bring your palms over the ears, and now we're going to clear everything his eardrums have picked up for vibrations to this point, and start to clear things that he's heard that might have caused him to have traumatic experiences and memories. And the next one would be to around the face, and you're getting actually the temporal mandibular joint down into the jaw and into the teeth. You just very gently lay your hands here. Remembering each position's held for a minute. I'm just moving along kind of fast. And you can hear my hands snap, and I take a breath to keep relaxing, moving energy and sweeping that away. And then I'm coming around, I'm going to make like a little teepee around the thyroid. So the thyroid is right here in the center of the neck. And a lot of people don't like to have people with their hands around their necks. They may have experiences that weren't so good about that whole issue. You can hear the snapping of this energy coming off David's neck. So I'm going to put my hands here, and the palms of my hands are going to run energy right down into the thyroid. Then I'm going to place my hands on the top of his shoulders. Right here are the lung meridians in Chinese medicine. There's like a little indentation here, and this is where the lungs are fed down to the thumb and down into the lungs, so that's what this position's about. Start to opening up the lungs. We're in the 5th chakra. So we've gone from 7, 6, 5. Then the hand position would be turning your palms in to feed the lungs. Pectoralis muscles are here, but this is to actually feed energy into the lungs. Then I'm going to come around to the left side of his body, which is the female side, the receiving side. I'm going to take my left hand, place it right in the center of his chest, and the right hand across the top. Now we're in the fourth chakra. And right in the center of the sternum, right here, is the thymus. And the thymus is the master gland of the immune system. So the immune system has B cells and T cells. And in the fetal stage, this is where we get our T cells that are produced and float in our body. And then the rest of our cells are actually manifesting and proliferating in our bone marrow. But right now, placing the hands on the sternum and across the top in what we call a T position is going to activate the heart chakra. And often you have your eyes closed. It's a very meditative practice, Reiki. So now I've done the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and I'm going to bring this energy down the arms, which is where the energy in your hands are fed from these parts of your chakras. So I'm going to touch your shoulder and touch the elbow, and I'm going to run energy into the humerus bone, one of the bones that's very large in the body. We have one large bone in the arms and 2 smaller bones down in the lower part of the forearm. We have one large bone in our leg and 2 down at the bottom of our leg. So the arms and the legs are very similar. And what I'm thinking about while I'm doing energy work is running energy in and out of the bone marrow, trying to stimulate the red blood cells and white blood cells. So it would be a minute here. And then we're going to come down to the elbow to the wrist, running energy into the lower part, the radius and the ulnar bone. And then I'm going to bring my hand, one on top of his hand and one underneath his hand. And this can be very nurturing, you know, for somebody to feel like somebody's touching their hand, but also running the energy down this side of the body. And this is the left side, is the female side. I just want to explain that for a moment about the body, because we're coming into the 3rd chakra. We call the right side of the body male and the left female. The reason is on the right side of your body, we have the ascending colon, which brings up our material that's going to be excreted through the transverse colon, down the descending colon. That's how we let things go. We call it fecal material, after we've digested life. The other thing we have in the heart is on the right side of the heart, the right atrium, we bring up deoxygenated blood through the inferior and superior vena cava. Comes into the right atrium, goes through the ventricle, goes through the lungs, comes out the left side, and goes out through the aorta and feeds us fresh oxygenated blood, nurtures us. So the left side's about letting things go, and that connects to the right side of the brain. And then the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain connects to the right side, and then the left side to the, left side to the right side, and the right side to the left side, because it crosses through the middle of the brain. So even though you might think your right side of your body is your male side because of all this action, we got the liver too, you know, trying to filter things through and clean out our body and store glycogen in it, but it really feeds and is connected to the left side of your brain. So now the 3rd chakra, we think of a box. Okay? So you're going to imagine that there's a line going down the middle, and you're going to keep your hands together and place your hands right over the upper part of the abdomen. Now I'm on his left side of his body, so we've got the pancreas, the spleen, and part of the stomach is on this side. So while you're doing your Reiki, it's really helpful to think of the organs and think what you're doing, that you're activating systems in the body. Central nervous system, respiratory system, cardiac system, gastrointestinal system. We hold the hand position here for a minute, and then we move over to the liver. Now you can go over to the other side if you want to do it on the other side, but you can just move your hands over to the other side. So that would be the 3rd chakra. And often you'll feel it come through your breath if you're releasing energy. So you, as a Reiki practitioner, you want to make sure you breathe a lot and you sweep your hands and you just move the energy. So a lot of it's not coming up through you. Okay? You're just channeling and letting it move through. So the 2nd chakra deals with the reproductive system. Because David's a man, we're going to be working on the side of his hips. With females, we would be doing a V position, okay, and running energy into the ovaries. But here what we're going to do is direct the flow of the energy down through his pelvis. It will get to the gonads and the testes by running energy through the 2nd chakra. And you do a hand position over here, the same thing on this side. So now we're coming into the 1st chakra, which is structure, the root chakra. And we're going to place our hand on the upper part of the thigh bone and on the knee. And we're running energy not only into the knee joint and the hip joint, but also through this femur, okay, with the largest bone in the body, running it clockwise. Just like the earth spins clockwise and the clocks go clockwise, that's how you want your flow of energy to go. Then from here, you're going to come all the way down, touching the knee again, and you're going to come down to the ankle. And you're going to be sending it through the tibia and fibula. There are 2 bones on the bottom of the leg. You've got the joints. So Reiki is very good for arthritis and conditions that have a lot of buildup of energy that gets stuck in the joints. Sometimes we have a hard time to let things go, and we might actually build up some of the energy in the parts of our body. And then you're going to come down and you can place one hand under the foot and one on top of the foot. And then you would go over and do the other side. So let me just quickly review those hand positions, the ones that we have, and count them. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, under here 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, okay, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and then the last hand position is on the top of the feet, just grounding the energy, allowing things to come down and grounding the energy through the feet. And then I'm going to have David turn over onto his back, but you don't have to. If you do a Reiki session and after about 30 or 40 minutes the client's nice and relaxed, you don't have to have them turn over if you don't want to. But some people have lower back problems and they might want you just only to work with their back, which is fine also. So if you were doing a full hour session, you would have them turn over and you would start again, go right back up and go right into the field, as we call it, and you place your hands on the top of the head. Then you're going to place your hands on the back of the head. So that's 2. Then you're going to place your hands on the back of the neck and you come over to the side and just let that feels very nice. Somebody has a lot of tension in their neck, so that's 1, 2, 3. And here it becomes pretty easy. Rather than have my right hand on top of my left hand, I'm going to switch them because I want the energy to run down and around. Okay, so this is 4, 5, 6, 7, this is the kidneys. I just want to run a little energy here into the kidneys. 8, down into the lumbar area. And you can go even a little further, 9, coming down towards the sacrum. 10, right on the sacrum, just like we did with the heart chakra. Okay, so the sacral bone, which is fused bones right here, kind of like a triangle, you just place your hand right on top of it and the other one across. This can feel very nice, but it's running energy right up the spinal cord. And what we call the Sushumna in yoga, it's an energy sheath around the body. And in Chinese medicine, they talk about the governor's channel, running energy up through the bladder meridians, up to the top of the head. So 11 would be the hip to the back of the knee. 12. Now you can get the bottom of the foot and the heel. 13. We have 14. 15 and 16. And depending on their back, you sometimes maybe only do a couple here. You might end up with 15 if you don't do as many. I did a lot as I came down through here. And you would always end your session coming around just kind of we did in the front. You put your hands on the heels, which correspond to the root chakra, the base of the spine. Okay, the inside of your insteps is your spine. This part here is gastrointestinal tract. This is the cardiac and respiratory, and your toes are your head. Okay, in reflexology, this is how the feet are laid out. They mirror image the body. So here I'm just rooting him and grounding him. Now the end of a session, what we do is we sweep the field. We call it feathering the field. So you just take your fingers and you just very lightly just come over the body, not touching any private areas, and just sweep it off. And that way the client knows that you're finished with your session. And it also stimulates, this light touch stimulates the lymphatics. They're very close to the skin and they're very sensitive to light touch. So it gets the immune system and the lymphatic system moving. And then you let your client know that they're done and that you're going to go wash your hands. And you always wash your hands, not for 2 reasons. One's to remove organisms because you've touched somebody, but also to run your hands, close your eyes and say, I'm letting go of any energy I've picked up. I'm going to let that just flow away. Because you're having this very close tantric, we call it in yoga, where 2 systems combine and become one. And your job is like a AAA battery charger, just holding on and running energy. letting that run through you from universal life force. And that's what the Reiki training is about. Reiki level 1, 2, and 3 are the training, and this is what you will learn in level 1. Level 2, you'll learn other kinds of techniques to work with energy, and level 3 is more about your own spiritual growth and becoming a Reiki master. So I'd like to thank David for enjoying this wonderful little session, and namaste.